Have you ever scrolled through Instagram and felt a pang of envy? Those perfect vacation photos, the delicious food pics, the endless parties. It makes you question your own life. Why aren't you doing those amazing things? You, my friend, might be caught in the clutches of FOMO. FOMO, or the fear of missing out, is that nagging feeling that something better is always happening somewhere else. It's the anxiety we get when we feel left out. This essay will explore the roots of FOMO and how to break free. Get ready to understand and conquer your fear of missing out. We've all been there. You hear about an epic party that happened last night. Everyone you know was there, laughing and having the time of their lives. And you were at home watching reruns of your favorite show. Or maybe you're scrolling through Instagram, bombarded by pictures of turquoise waters and white sand beaches. Your friends are off on exotic adventures while you're stuck in your daily routine. FOMO is that uneasy feeling that you're missing out on experiences, connections, or opportunities that others are enjoying. It's the nagging voice in your head that says, I should be there, even when there is a carefully curated snapshot of someone else's life. FOMO can also show up in smaller, everyday moments. Maybe you skip a night out with friends to catch up on work, only to spend the whole time wondering if you made the wrong choice. That feeling of unease, that sense that you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, that's FOMO whispering in your ear. Why do we experience FOMO? The answer lies deep within our brains. As humans, we are social creatures. We crave connection and belonging. For our ancestors, being part of a group meant survival. Being excluded could mean danger. Today, while we're not facing the same threats, our brains still carry that ancient wiring. We're hardwired to seek connection and avoid isolation. Adding to this is our brain's natural tendency towards comparison. We constantly measure ourselves against others, evaluating our status, achievements, and experiences. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Comparison can be a motivator, pushing us to improve and grow. But it can also become a source of insecurity and anxiety, particularly when we perceive ourselves as lacking. Section 4, the social media magnifying glass, how our feeds fuel the fear. If our brains are wired for connection and comparison, then social media is the ultimate amplifier. Social media platforms, with their endless streams of curated content, have become the breeding ground for FOMO. We are constantly bombarded with images and stories of people living their best lives. We see their exotic vacations, their picture-perfect families, their exciting careers. It's easy to forget that these are just snapshots, carefully chosen moments designed to present a certain image. The problem is, our brains don't always distinguish between these curated highlights and reality. We compare our everyday lives to the highlight reels of others, leading to feelings of inadequacy and envy. This constant exposure to the best of everyone else's lives fuels the fire of FOMO, making us feel like we're constantly missing out on something extraordinary. Section 5. The price of keeping up, the dark side of FOMO. While often dismissed as a harmless quirk of modern life, FOMO can have serious consequences for our mental health and well-being. The constant pressure to keep up with the Joneses can lead to chronic stress and anxiety. We become so consumed with what we're missing that we fail to appreciate the present moment. This can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction, emptiness, and a general sense of unhappiness. FOMO can also drive us to make impulsive decisions. We overcommit to social events even when we're exhausted. We spend money we don't have to keep up with the latest trends. We prioritize experiences for the sake of sharing them online, rather than for the joy they bring us. This constant need for external validation can leave us feeling empty and unfulfilled. Section 6. Disconnect to reconnect, strategies for breaking free from FOMO. The good news is that we don't have to be slaves to FOMO. There are concrete steps we can take to manage these feelings and reclaim our lives. One of the most effective strategies is to practice gratitude. Instead of focusing on what we lack, we can shift our attention to all the good things in our lives. Keeping a gratitude journal, where we write down things we're thankful for each day, can be a powerful way to cultivate a more positive outlook. Another crucial step is to limit our social media consumption. This doesn't mean we need to swear off social media entirely, but it does mean being mindful of how we use it. Setting time limits on our usage, unfollowing accounts that trigger feelings of inadequacy, and consciously choosing to engage with content that inspires and uplifts us can make a world of difference. Section 7. Crafting a life you don't need a break from. Ultimately, overcoming FOMO is about more than just silencing the noise of the outside world. It's about connecting with our own values, passions, and aspirations. It's about creating a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling on our own terms, not one that's dictated by the ever-changing standards of social media. This means taking the time to identify what truly matters to us. What are our passions? What makes us feel alive? What kind of impact do we want to make on the world? Once we have a clearer sense of our values, we can start making choices that align with them. We can prioritize experiences that bring us joy, cultivate relationships that nourish our souls, and pursue goals that give us a sense of purpose. Remember, you don't need a social media feed full of exotic locations and glamorous parties to live a rich and fulfilling life. True happiness comes from living in alignment with your values, pursuing your passions, and cherishing the people and experiences that bring meaning to your life. So go ahead, log off, disconnect, and start living a life you don't need a break from.